Hey, Yetta, are we aging gracefully?
We are absolutely not aging gracefully. We are saging.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
So welcome to another episode of Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Dekker.
I'm Ken Dekker.
And it's where we get to share techniques, tactics, tools, tips, and some truths that we all need. We all deserve. You, I, everyone. So we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, and we live the best life possible. We're going to consider in this segment that aging, to a large degree, is a choice. And saging is also a choice. They're both choices.
Okay, but come on. What is saging?
That's really where you tap into the brilliance and the wisdom and the insight that you have because you've lived a little. You've experienced a bit of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so rather than focusing on the age part, not that I have any struggle saying I'm 61 years old, that I'm technically a senior, although I know I'm good.
You said that.
I know. I can't believe I said it. I think that's the first time I've said it, that I don't go get the seniors discounts, but I've been told I need to start doing that.
Yeah.
What is wrong with me?
And we'll have to check out McDonald's. I think they give me a muffin coffee combo or something for seniors.
We don't go to McDonald's.
That's true. And we don't do muffins and coffee.
Exactly.
So
why on earth would we do that? Anyway, the idea is that as we age, sometimes staying in our home gets harder.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes enjoying our home, even if we stay in our home, gets more demanding.
Yeah.
So how can we continue to sage? Because part of the aging process is we're responsible for it.
Yeah, and you said it's a choice. And I think the years go by irrespective of our choice.
I don't get a choice. The fact that my thing is I am now 61 years old.
Yeah, that thing.
That wasn't
Who cares
a choice.
what that thing says?
I really don't care.
Right. And that's where the saying comes, age is just a number.
Right.
It's really, I think it boils down to a choice of what you do with your life that moves you either to being aged.
Right.
Or
that was quite, do that again.
Aged.
Okay.
Or saged.
Right. And I mean, there are things that happen to us or to other people that there is no choice. We can't control all of it. We're delusional to think that we can, an extreme illness takes us or something happens for us. We can't control that.
No.
Right. And yet there are things we can do that help us continue the saging years with more joy and ability to stay in our homes if that's what we desire, or to choose where we want to live. If we want to simplify life, that doesn't mean we shouldn't simplify.
So
right?
Inquiring minds want to know what things they can choose to do that will help them sage instead of age.
Okay, and the first one is keep learning. Keep learning.
Because you're only as old as your brain thinks you are? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
And your brain remains, we'll say plastic, even though it's not really plastic, but moldable, pliable your whole life, provided you use it.
So my brain says I'm still an 18-year-old, but my body says my brain's an idiot.
That was harsh. Okay. And as you think you're younger, you will be younger than you would otherwise be.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And the cognitive learning new things. Now, we've talked about this on lots of episodes, but it is something that helps us stay in our homes longer. It helps us function better in the home that we have. If I think I can do certain things, I will be able to do them for longer.
So I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Like the little engine that thought it could?
Yeah, a little. Like we do become that which we think we are.
Oh, that's deep.
Right? Like our beliefs do affect us.
Oh, 100%.
Right? I believed I could get to the point that I could sit down on the ground and get back up without using my hands or any things around me. And I would have been in my mid-50s. mid to late 50s, when I discovered that that is something I wanted to be able to do, because it was awkward standing up and I wasn't carrying extra weight at the time, maybe 10 pounds. So maybe I was, but not a lot.
I mean, like when I had a couple 10?
Yeah, when you had a couple 10.
You had 10?
I had at least 10, yeah. So sure, that makes it harder.
Yeah, but you stand up without any assistance. It's ridiculous.
Well, because it was a choice. So just like learning is a choice. And there, like I say, I don't want to, like, this is no guilt tripping thing. This isn't a, like, if you can't do these things, there's something wrong with you. The point is we do become that which we focus on to a large degree. Those things we can control. So if I want to stay in my home longer and I want to cut my own grass and I want to do my gardening and I want to eat fresh tomatoes, which you know I do for my garden, there's some weeds to pull, there's some things to do. It doesn't mean I can't put raised beds in. Like there are things I can do to make it easier to live in my space. And how I choose everything has an impact on whether I get to easily make those choices.
So interesting stat, you know?
Yeah.
A recent study showed that dementia from, well, I guess it wasn't that recent because they'd studied from 20 to 2012.
Right.
So about 10-year-old study.
Yeah.
Between 2000 and 2012, dementia cases went down 24%, even though the average age before death is going up.
Right.
So we're living longer, but dementia is going down. And one of the things the study contributed that to was seniors getting on the internet and continuing to learn.
Stretching their brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
It's awesome.
Yeah. So what kind of things can people do to help? Because there's no point in living long if your brain fades out, right? Like that's not a fun...
that's a choice, but I would think that's not fun.
No, because it's like... I don't know. For me, I would prefer if my body's in good shape, that my brain remains in good shape, and vice versa. If my brain's in good shape, I'd like my body to be in good shape. And when they're not, I'd like everything to just, say goodnight in 2059.
Right. Or beyond.
Yeah, but 2059, I'm good if I make it. When I make it, I'll be happy. How's that?
Well, it's to enjoy the years. Is how do you enjoy your time?
Right. So what things keep the brain fresh and growing? It's kind of like a muscle. You can make the brain grow bigger and keep it sharper by doing certain things.
Right. Well, volunteering is actually one of them. Contribute. Make a difference for someone else so that you're not as focused on what's up for you.
Okay.
Continuous learning something, reading books. I mean, how many clients don't we have that get their PhD, even though they're not necessarily going to use it and they may use it for writing. They may use it like write a book.
But they get it late in their
They get it later.
Season.
Yeah, later in life.
Yeah.
Because learning is good for you.
Yeah, like I'd like to learn a language. Like I want to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
And I downloaded Duolingo. And I haven't got in the habit of doing it. And I know that if I did it for between 10 and 20 minutes a day, that in a year from now, I'll know a lot of Spanish.
Right. You will.
And my brain will be better for it.
Right. So really what we're saying here is if you want to sage, if you want to get wiser and wiser and wiser, one of the things to do is just keep learning, keep moving, and really there's not that much to it. So what do you want to learn in the next 90 days is the question. And then what will you actually take on?
Yeah. So we're happy that we're able to position you to build wealth wisely because it's about much more than just money.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.